Here she comes. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a uninstall and reinstallation video for you guys. We're going to be replacing one of the more common things to replace on a 350Z, which is the trunk struts. Basically, they just don't hold the weight of the trunk anymore after years of being used. So I'm going to go ahead and replace those today. I'm going to give you guys a rundown on how to do that. I'm going to open the box that I got and show you how to uninstall the stock ones and install the new ones. So these are the trunk struts that I was talking about right here. Basically, if you look, I'm holding the trunk up right now because they don't hold the weight anymore. So if I let go, the trunk just closes. So that sucks because I've been hit in the head multiple times, and I want to fix that and be able to use my trunk like it's intended. Okay, so I got the struts here. I ordered a set. So I got the struts here in this box. I ordered a set off Amazon. They were much cheaper. I was gonna get ones off of an actual car website, but I wanted to give these a go because they were significantly cheaper and might as well save some money. So here they are. Lift Support Depot. They were one of the higher reviewed ones on Amazon, so I got these ones. They were a pretty decent price. I'll put the price in the video, but yeah, let's get installing these. Okay, play. So when you're doing this, either get an extra set of hands or use something to hold your trunk up, especially if it's already like pretty weak like mine. But since you are going to be pulling the struts out, you're going to need to anyway. So I just do this here. It's a jack, whatever it's called, the thing that makes the jack go up. So I put that in there like that, and then if you come closer, we got 2 bolts here, and then this is just the ball and socket up here. So we're just going to pop that out and undo these 2 bolts, both sides. When you're doing this, make sure that this piece right here is up and not flipped over and going down. It kind of looks like when you go to install it, I'll show it with the new one, but it looks like it would go down, but you want it to be facing upward. That's how it's supposed to be. So these bolts here are going to be a 10 millimeter. So get there and break. So I'm going to move this over to the other side while I'm working on that side, because I didn't want that to happen. But so put this over here so it has something to hold it. Yeah, okay, so that part came loose. This, I believe, oh, you know what? I think I actually have to undo that and not pull that off. So it looks like it's going to be a 12 millimeter. That's on there pretty good. These, if you just, I believe, turn them. Yeah, if you just turn those a quarter turn, then they just pop right out. So that way, that'll give you more room. There we go. It's a little bit difficult to get that because there's not room for leverage because there's this here and then this here. So there's not much room to move the actual wrench once you're in there. But once you get it loose, it should come out pretty easily. Okay, so this side is out. That's what you're left with. Set that down there. This is pretty nasty. What do we got? What's this? Might as well clean this while I'm in here. Or at least just wipe it down. So then you open these up. We got each one. I'm not sure which side is which. It comes with all the new hardware, which is great because the bolts that were in there and everything else was pretty rusty. So definitely going to use the new hardware. And then let's see what it gives for instructions. A lot of times these types of parts don't come with instructions, but we'll see what this says here. Okay, so pretty basic instructions. It actually shows you here to use something to hold up the trunk, which is kind of funny. Yeah, it tells you what the torque specs are, which is cool. It shows you pictures on how to install it correctly, and like I was saying earlier, you want this curve to go up, not the opposite way around, so that's nice. Start. One of the pieces of hardware that it comes with is the ball stud that we took out of the top of the hatch and a washer. So you're going to put the washer on there and then put this in the car first. So that just screws in like so. Just be careful not to cross thread it. We're just going to go hand tight for now. Like I said, the instructions give you the torque specs, so I'll tighten it down in a second. Okay, so with the two new bolts that were supplied, we're going to put this piece on next. So like I said earlier, it goes up rather than down, which also looks like it fits correctly, but the proper way to do it, they say, is to put it this way, and that's the way that the stock ones were, so I'm going to go with that. So just thread these in. So then you're just going to take this and bring it up and to attach here. The only thing is like obviously it's out of alignment, so you just turn it so that way it aligns properly. You're going to have to lift, that's fine, leave that. You're going to have to lift the trunk up a little bit past open and then snap it on just like so. Give it a good tug to make sure that it's on there all the way. It should it's like a kind of like a double click. There's other ones out there that once you get it on, you put a little pin through and it holds it on, but this one, it's actually built in, so I decided to go with this one, and I think it'll be pretty sturdy. And if you look, I've completely let go, and that is no longer even helping it stay up, so literally just one of these struts in has now solved my problem, but we still have this side to do. So we're going to put this back in, so you just align the little aligning markers here, I forget what they're called, but they just go straight vertical with the front and back of the car, and then turn a quarter turn counterclockwise, and it's locked in place. So now we're going to do this side, turn this just like the other side, pull it out. I think I'm going to do this one in reverse order. I'm going to take the top out first, so that way it doesn't fly out like crazy like the last one did. So I'm going to do the top first and then take those two bolts out. The only thing is when you do the top first, just make sure it doesn't fall on the car. Alright, so I think I was going the wrong way. Make sure, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Alright, so we're going to use a little bit of PB Blaster on this one because it's a pain and it's not coming off, so hopefully this will help. So let that sit for a minute. Hopefully it'll help it just come loose. What?
Just the way you're looking at me.
Well, you're not even like looking at me.
No, I am.
Alright, are you fine?
Yes.
Okay, so, actually I lied. I think we're going to try and do the bottom here first because this top piece is being such a pain. So, hopefully by just undoing the bottom, I can swing this down and afford me some more room to get up in there and try and break that bolt free. So, let's break these free. This will allow me some more room to get on this. Alright, so this bolt was so stripped and I couldn't break it free that I ended up just twisting this and just snapping it off so that way I could get a socket on here and break it free. So now it's broke free, and that's junk anyway, so I didn't really care that I broke it, but now that that's broken free, I can take this out. So now we're just going to do the same process that we did on the other side. So install the ball and stud with the washer first. I've set the torque wrench to 10 foot-pounds because it said between 9 and 11, so I went right in between. This nut size here is actually a 13 mil. So go. So now that's nice and tight, and then we can go ahead and put the bottom bolts in. So the two bolts down here are a 10 millimeter versus this, which was a 13. So I'm just going to go pretty tight on those. I'm not going to overdo it because I don't want to tighten them too much. And the torque spec reading on these bottom ones was messed up on the page, so I don't know what it actually was. So I just went pretty tight on those, but not as tight as I could crank it because I don't want it to strip the threads or anything like that. So then again, like the other side, I got to lift this up a little bit, line it up. And give it a good push. Make sure it's up.
That doesn't happen.
Well, now it's fucked.
Oh God. Oh no.
You fix that.
Yes.
That's why you don't over tighten it. This thing didn't click, so I just kept cranking it. Literally twisted the bolt right out.
Uh-oh.
Alright, so nothing ever goes as planned when working on a car, obviously. So what happened was, as I was tightening those down and going to close the trunk, this bolt that I had up in here actually snapped right off. So, had to get it out of this hole and then run to AutoZone and pick up a new one. Luckily they carry the trunk ball, socket, whatever you want to call these, in stock, so that was really great. So now I have this replacement piece in here, so I'm going to put this back in. Hopefully it fits. They're pretty universal, so looks like it's going to go in no problem. So this is what I got. It comes with like washers and nuts. Obviously we don't need the nut in this case, but I will use the washer. So the last one I think I over tightened, so this one I'm just gonna tighten down just to reasonably tight. That's not big enough. I'm not going to overdo this one, because I think I overdid the last one too much. Alright, so that's in. This is tightened down on. So then, I'm going to lift this up enough to get that locked on. I'm going to put this back in. Quarter turn in one direction, some way. There we go, that's good. That should. Alright, so now it should be. These are already way stiffer, I can tell, like, and the trunk just wants to go fly right back up when I let go. So when I close it, I pop it, it pops open a lot better, and then I just give it a little push, and now my trunk struts work again, which is awesome. So a little bit of trouble with that side, but we made it work and saved a lot of money doing it rather than buying original OEM ones. So I would definitely recommend to get the ones with the little pin that go in the top rather than these specific ones which have this metal collar around the top ball and socket. The ones that I was talking about have like a pin that normally like goes through a little hole and then you turn it and it locks on. These ones just have this metal collar here that bite around the ball. So I would recommend the other ones that have the pin because they just really lock them on there better, I feel like. And but these will do the trick. Hopefully they stay, and yeah, I'm happy with them. They're a lot tighter than the stock ones were, and yeah, I actually have a trunk that works now that won't hit me in the head anymore, so that's good. Alright, so that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope this helps some of you out. And for those of you who don't have a 350Z, I hope that this possibly inspired you to do these kinds of installs and fixes on your own car. It's really not that hard to do, and if you just do some research, get the right parts, and then just go for it yourself, it usually will turn out pretty good, and it'll save you a lot of money from taking your car to the shop. And although there might be some issues, like I had plenty of issues today doing this, you just gotta kind of push through it and keep going, and just figure out whatever solution you need to figure out as problems arise. So that's gonna be it for today. I hope you all have an awesome day. Thanks, guys.